Most of the explanations for daylight savings time are far too complicated. I'm going to present an incredibly simple argument for why we continue to switch our clocks every 6 months in just 4 words. The argument is this. Are you ready? More convenient sunrise times. It's really that simple. And the further you are from the equator, the more sense it makes. I think a lot of people know that they don't like making the switch every 6 months, and they just want to stop doing it, but without really considering what life would be like in the absence of the switch. So let's illuminate the situation by running 3 different scenarios: continuing to switch every 6 months, year-round standard time, and year-round daylight savings time. Let's see which one you think looks like the best option. First up, switching every 6 months, as many of us do now. I'm going to use an example from a location about halfway between the equator and the North Pole, Whatcom County in Washington State. This graph shows the sunrise times for Bellingham, Washington for an entire year. Currently, under our system of switching every 6 months, during the month of June, we get sunrises as early as 5:06 a.m. That means it's pretty light out by about 4:23 a.m. during this period we call civil twilight. And there will even be a little bit of light on the horizon as early as 3:30 a.m. during a period referred to as nautical twilight. That's under our current system. If we were to ignore the time change in March and stay on standard time, here's what we'd be looking at. The sun peaks up above the horizon at 4:06 a.m. That's right, actual sunshine at 4:06 a.m., which means it's pretty light out by about 3:30 a.m., and you'd be able to see some glow on the horizon and hear birds tweeting gleefully at about 2:30 a.m. To repeat, if you live as far north as the Canadian border and want to continue on standard time year-round, you're asking for birds tweeting by 2:30 a.m. and full daylight by 4 a.m. during the month of June. If you're north of the Canadian border, the birds in the sunlight will start even earlier. Now let's look at the inverse situation of ignoring the time change in November and staying on daylight savings time year-round. Here's what we'd be looking at for sunrise times in late December. On those cold December mornings, we wouldn't see any actual sun until after 9 o'clock a.m., with some dull light between 8:30 and 9, and maybe a tiny glow on the horizon by 8 o'clock. Before 8 o'clock, we're talking full nighttime darkness. Children walking to school before 8 a.m. will get to enjoy looking at the stars and will arrive in complete darkness. So what do you think? Which option is best? Let's talk about it in the comments below. I used to fall firmly in the continue with the switch every 6 months crowd, but you know what? Now that I'm in my 60s, the idea of getting up closer to 4 a.m. and going to bed around 8 o'clock in the summer is sounding better with each passing year. So I'm starting to lean toward year-round standard time, but I want to know what you think, so leave a comment below and vote for your preference. Thank you for watching.